I tested 5 pellets, and I've seen several guys talking about it. The Umarex APX multi-level pumper, and it's on sale, so I guess it's time for me to get one from Walmart. Looks like I got the last one. Finally got a chance to do a, let's take a look. Three pieces of tape, not bad. Let's see what they're going to claim on the box. 700 feet per second, or 10-shot magazine, or a tray. The box itself is heavy, which indicates that the gun is a little heavier than just your plastic specials. Well packaged. Got the plastic off. You got your owner's manual instructions. Basically, it's a plastic polymer type of body. Metal shroud, leaf sight, and a fiber optic front sight. The sight is adjustable, at least for elevation. I'll check later for windage. Your single load tray is already in it, and you're going to have to cut that off. 10 pellet magazine here, and it does come with a 4x15 scope, which I'm just going to put that on sale on eBay one of these days. It's not that they're bad scopes, it's just that the field of view isn't very big, and my sight, I need a little bigger scope. I'm going to start shooting it in the shed just to get used to it. I'm out in the shed just shooting. I'm actually shooting the cheapest pellets you got, the daisy pointed, just to get familiar with this and run some pellets through before I start the crony. But a couple things I've noticed. One of the things I've noticed when I was looking at this, I've gotten to where I'm quite familiar with the pneumatic system on these pumper air guns. This one, it has only one O-ring on the piston. There's the piston top right there. But it has an O-ring back here behind the felt. Well, that's kind of unique. Okay, here's the end of the trigger, and it is, you'll notice that spring is going to pull the valve out. So watch, and here goes. See how it pulled it up? That's how the daisy system works. So we're looking at more of a daisy 880 type of firing system. I'm finished the initial drawing on this. When I do these drawings, I notice a lot of things about the design, and this air gun is unique in that there's numerous straight lines. There's actually only a couple curved lines here and there in the trigger area, and these looks like vents, but the rest of it is all straight, and it reminds me of stealth aircraft and the stealth naval boats. Interesting design. I'm only pumping it 7 times. 10 is the max, but they recommend that for past 10 yards. I'm sitting in my bench shooting targets there by the fireplace chimney 12 yards away. So it's AC's running, nice and cool here. Pumps about like as easy as a Daisy 880 for those who are familiar with that. Now this is a unique thing. Every time you fire, there's a little spring here, so there's a safety that goes back every time. It's easy enough to do once you get used to it. You just press up with your thumb, but it takes an extra second or so, and sometimes that's important. The sight seems to be pretty nice. Of course, I can't see that well, but shooting at larger cans, the spray cans and stuff. It looks like it's got some windage adjustments on this rear sight leaf too. The crony tester next, so I'll get back with you after that. Here's the results of the chronograph. There is a shot of all the stats. If you want to put it on pause and check out the specifics, This is the time. I tested 5 pellets varying in range of weight and perceived quality. You always go with the hollow point, and if you want to compare it against others, it's 689 with a standard deviation of 3.7. So those are good numbers. All the pellets did pretty well. The one basic number that I'm going to use for testing is just your standard deviation, and the Vogel USA barely won out. All 4 of those are about the same on standard deviation. The big difference is that I can get the Vogels for cheaper here, and I'm going to put a lot of rounds downrange in this video, so we're going with the Vogel. Its average speed is 683, close to 700, kinetic energy 8.4, and its standard deviation, as previously said, 1.6. I will eventually run a lot more pellets in subsequent videos. Before I put a scope on this, I thought I would demonstrate the sight for you, the open sights, which are actually pretty nice. I just shot a group of 5 at one of these little Umarex targets, which work well for this Umarex. They were a little high. I just made an adjustment, shooting another 5. I've got 2 more to go, and we will take a look at it. I can't really see what the results are from here. This is where I started my videos with air guns way back when, sitting on my workmate, shooting at a target using this stick. So back to old times. It's not going to be precise, but it will group. All right, 1 more to go, and we'll check the target. I don't know if you'll be able to see that due to the light. Yeah, the back sight has a ramp, and you can adjust it for windage too. But move the sight blade down by moving the ramp back. Also, that 5 pounds of trigger pull, it's not that big a deal with this gun. It's pretty smooth. Using Vogel's USA's, by the way. Here's before I adjusted the sight. So we had a grouping up a little bit, and I just moved the ramp down, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, and that's with shooting at it just roughly in the middle area of the target at a blur. We are now shooting at 25 yards at a Daisy. I think they're 3-inch targets, the shooting C's. I'm using the Vogel USA. I'm running out of scopes, so the last scope I had available was this BSA 4x32. So far it's doing all right. I'm afraid to mess with it because if you change one thing, it tends to make you have to change the other one. So I'm just going to leave it alone and make slight adjustments in point of aim. All right, I'm going to use the 10 round magazine, which by the way works pretty smoothly so far. 10 pumps. So here we go. Part of the reason I usually include at least one set of the pellets in the target in order is that sometimes that'll tell you more of the story than just the target itself. You see, the first couple I had to shift point of aim, found the right place and just left it there, and you see the results. That's easily a quarter. Now what we're going to do is the plinking part of it. In the year of the pumper, I forgot to mention that, with the squirrel and spinners. See what accuracy and power, you will notice middle spinner, which is the smallest one, I could just barely get that to turn over. So what that means is the pellet has lost energy to the point where by the time it hits the target at 25 yards out, it's down to about 5 foot-pounds because that's what it takes to turn it over. From previous videos. Magazine, load, move the ball to the forward, and let's rip. Warm-up shot will be the big one, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, it doesn't have enough energy. So now we're going to go for the squirrel. Big difference between the 22 and the 177, even with high speed muzzle velocity. By the time it hits the target, it loses a lot of energy. Easy to knock the little one, but to knock it back up, I have found that you have to hit it low to get the momentum right. Oh, I got it. Let's see if we can do it again. Hope the squirrel's watching. Yeah, see, this thing's actually pretty accurate. Alright, we're going to use the remaining ones to see if I can get that middle spinner. Oop, yes, that's a little tougher because it seems to be. Yeah, see, you get it to go one time, so that's roughly 5 foot-pounds. That's it. Turns out there may be a reason why the APX is sold out quite often. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please press the like button and subscribe. And of course, if any comments are welcome. So see you on the next video.